Happy Friday. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know where the week went. Well, let's just see if we get any friends that join us today. I know Judith is here. Oh, there's some eyes. Awesome. Hello, everyone. So in the comments, just say a quick hello. I'd love to see who's here and we'll get the chatter going. Hello, hello. Any big plans for the weekend? I will be doing a lot of organizing. Oh, Amanda's here too. Let's see how long she hangs in. She usually says hello when you first start and then she disappears like a poof. All righty, so we're going to get started. Today we're going to do a product spotlight and we are going to focus on the new Pretty Pink Posh release. Yes, I know it's Amanda's excuse is kids, which was 100% understandable. Yes, so we're going to focus on that. Now it's a bit of a different kind of live because I don't actually have the product here. The product is at Amanda's house and at the store. So I'm not going into the store quite as often right now. And I hate to have the product here and then it sells and then the customer has to wait until I get it back to the store before we can fill their order. So I created a bit of a slideshow and I'm going to be able to show you everything that way. So you'll actually probably get more information this way. And over the next little while, some of the new product focus lives might be in this format, just until we get things a little more streamlined with our shift to going strictly online. Okay, so it's going to be great, and you're going to get lots of information, but it's just going to be in a just slightly different format. So that's why you're just looking at my desk right now. It's actually clean, so that's a good thing. But I am going to pull up my slideshow here. So we're just going to add this to the stage. And you don't really need to see my desk, but I can't remove it. I wonder if I can do this. Ha! Can you guys still hear me? Just want to make sure it should be okay. It's showing my mic is working. But you don't really need to see my desk in the bottom corner. We'll just focus on this. I'll just wait for somebody to comment and tell me they can still hear me and everything is good. And I think we're good. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. So we are going to talk about the new winter release from Pretty Pink Posh. Now, we haven't had Pretty Pink Posh in our store for a little bit, and we've really missed them. So when I saw the preview for this release, I thought, oh boy, this is a good one. So we're bringing it in. And we have already sold out of a few items. I'm not even going to show them to you because we likely won't be reordering. Unless we get a special request. But it is just filled with so many fun things. So this is just the banner that I removed from their Facebook page, which just kind of shows you a little bit about the feel and some of the images that you will see throughout the release. So we're going to move on to the first slide. The first thing we're going to talk about are the, what do they call them? They call them confetti. So Pretty Pink Posh releases confetti with every one of their releases. And they have two different kinds this time. So this is called the Pastel Blizzard. And these little mixes are really great if you like to make shaker cards, or if you like to use, like you'll see there's little snowflakes in there. You can use that as embellishments on your card. Like you can just glue them right on like sequins. And then those longer, they kind of look like cake sprinkles. You can use them exactly for that. So like, let's say you're doing a birthday card or layout and you have a cake or a cupcake and you want to put sprinkles on it. Those can be glued on just like you do sequins and things like that. And they look and work great. So, and guys, as we're going along in the chat, if you have any questions at all, please just shout out. I've got the screen right in front of me here, and I can see all of your comments. So I'm good to answer any questions you might have. Okay, so just to show you an example of the Pastel Blizzard in action, you can see this amazing penguin, which we'll talk about a little further into the release here, but they've made it into a shaker, and you can see all those little bits in behind the window that will move around when you shake your card. And it's spectacular. Like, they're just so much fun. I have a bin in my craft room that it's just full of all little shaker bits, and I'm constantly pulling them out. And I also have started to use the Tailored Expressions storage for tiny things. And I'm creating embellishment trays with lots of fun stuff. So I love collecting these things. They're a lot of fun, and you can mix and match them as well, which is great. So there's that one. And then the next one that they came out with is an all white mix, and it's called Winter Wonderland. So this one again has a few of those sprinkle pieces, but more snowflakes and white dots. So great for snow scenes for sure. And there's just an example on the background how they have been just glued right on, as if there is like their sequence. Is there a video for making shaker cards? Lynn, I'm sure if you Google it or go onto YouTube and search, there's lots of people that will show you how to make shaker cards. I'm going to make a little note because we're going to talk about something towards the end of this video. And that is something that I can definitely cover. It's a JK here. I have to write it down properly, otherwise I won't know what it says when I'm done. But it is definitely something that I can focus on in the future. I haven't done very many creating lives lately. Just been buried. Like, it's a busy time of year. Lots of inventory coming in and things coming and going. And I haven't had as much time at my desk as I would have liked to. But we will definitely make a note and do some shaker card videos. That is a good suggestion. Thank you for that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next thing, and that is called the birch tree dies. So this is just a nice standalone die, good staple to have in your stash, and you can use it for winter scenes, summer scenes, fall, any time of year, anytime that you want to use trees. Now, this is their winter release, so a lot of the samples that you're going to see have a winter feel to them. But don't be fooled by that. You can do lots of different things. And you can cut them in different colors too. So in this particular case, they're kind of done in a light gray, but I thought they would look really nice in vellum as well. I thought that would be something really cool to try. Obviously, you can do them in brown and different things. These kind of, they are birch trees, but you can use them as other types of trees as well. And there's the trees cut out in white, just to give you a different feel. And I think we have one more slide here. Yep. So there you've got a big critter on the front with the trees in the background, stenciled background with snowflakes on it. So lots of really different ways to use them. But they make a nice scene building option for sure. And then we're going to move on to the Igloo Shaker Die. This is really cool. So over the years, many companies have come out with lots of different penguin critter sets. And I don't know that I've ever seen a shaker igloo, and I really thought this was fun. So you can use the die cut without making a shaker, but the shaker option is there. And you can see all those little shaker bits that are in the scene there. I know the igloo is spectacular. I really love it. And I'm also going to point out on this card too, the little penguins. There is a stamp and die, which we will talk about a little later in the video. And then also the word snow, that is a stamp and die that is available as well. And I'm going to show you a couple of samples when we get to that product, but I just want you to make note of them just as we're going through, just so you can see how they look. But isn't that a great card? I mean, the igloo is definitely the star of the show. And I just think it is such a cool design. And I think it would work for lots of different scenes. I don't think you necessarily have to use it with penguins. I think snowmen would be really cute. Any winter critters would work really well. And you really don't even have to use it with critters. You can just use the igloo on its own. So we've got a couple of samples here to show you in different color schemes. There's those penguins again, stamp and die that we will be talking about. And that beautiful snow word with the supporting sentiment, the let it. So that is part of a set that's coming Polar bears would be great. Yes, lots of options for sure. And there's another one. And then you can see, I'm not sure if this, I'm not going to point out that sentiment because I'm not sure if that's available. It might be part of the snow one. I can't remember. But again, there's another really great greeting on there, part of the stamp and die set. And I just love how you just switch up the colors and you get really different feels. I'm just going to back up. So we've got our first one with just really nice, soft pastel colors. And then a little more cheery and colorful on this one. Even the sequins and things inside the shaker are much brighter. Again, a nice soft pastel, except the penguin gives it a nice pop. And then this one is just a great color combination as well. And that snowflake background on this card is also a stencil that I'm going to feature a little further into the video. So just take note of that. I like the addition of the hearts on this too. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the Let It Snow with Shadow die. So again, I pointed out the word snow a little bit earlier. This is fun because you can use this, just the front part of it on its own, or you can shadow it with the shadow dies. So you have options, and you don't have to use the full Let It Snow. You can just use the word snow. You can just use the word let and it as well. So I like to make titles on my cards and on my layouts where I mix fonts and sizes. And I think it really draws your eye to the title as a focal point. So it's fun to mix and match. And I love that these are not all connected and that you do have the option of being able to just use parts of it. And then we're going to move on to the notched rectangles. Now this might look like just a simple, die, but these basics go a long way in card making and scrapbooking. So you get several dies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different dies, and they get smaller as they get towards the middle. And I've got several slides to show you what you can do with them. So here is a card layout using one of the smaller sizes as a background for the penguins. That would be an A2 size card, so you can choose a size that you could get 4 different images on. Now, whether you use the penguins or not, it's a great way to create the background of a card. And there's that nice large snow word. I don't think that's from the one I just showed you, though. It's from a different set. And here they've used 3 different sizes of the notched rectangles to create a backdrop for a whole scene, which is really cool too. And that is just a grounding point for the background of your card, which is kind of, I would say, like the standard way to use these nesting shapes. And I really love this one. So if you are a fan of Carissa Wiley, she has a YouTube channel called something about glitter. It escapes me right now. Does somebody know? Sprinkled with Glitter. That's the name of her YouTube channel. You can also just search her name. And she is a really great designer. I really love her style. And she often works with a similar color palette all the time. Very soft and really easy on the eye. And I love how she used the notched rectangles in this. She cut hers out in vellum, and then she heat embossed on it. And then you can still see that snowflake background in the in behind the vellum as well, which I love. So if you have never watched any of her videos, I definitely recommend checking her out. Okay, so there's a couple of different penguins in this release. This one here is the penguin holder. And you can tell that this is the penguin holder because of the hands on this penguin. So you can see in this picture, the penguin is holding a snowflake, but you can pop anything into the penguin's hands. I'll show you another slide here. We've got presents in their hands. But if you have other things in your stash that you want the penguins to hold, you can do that. So it kind of has that feature of being able to hold things, which is really cool. And then the next one is the penguin shaker. And again, you don't have to turn it into a shaker, but you have that option too. And you can see that the penguin's hands are out to the side on this one. Now, both are really cool options, and you can use them in similar ways, but there is a slight difference in them. So this is another one of the samples created by my favorite YouTube influencer, Nicole Spohr. I'm kind of a real fangirl right now. I've been watching a lot of her videos lately, both live and pre-recorded. She does a lot of designing for Spellbinders and various other companies, and I really love her style. So if you're looking for some influencers to check out, she's another one that you can jot down and see what she does. She also does fabric and cross stitch as well. So if those things don't interest you, you don't have to watch all her videos, but a lot of them are paper crafting now. So she is definitely one of my favorite influencers out there, and I just love her style. So the penguins are awesome. And then there is another card. So again, you can see how you can get some really different looks using the same die cut, which I think is really cool. Okie dokie. So I think that's it for this slideshow. Yep. So now we've got to take this one down, and then we've got to add this one in. Perfect. That was seamless. This is the Winter Greetings version of the die. So you saw the Let It Snow, and now we've got Winter Greetings. So again, you can use the words separately or together, and you can use just the front, or you can use them with the shadow as well. And there's lots of really great techniques you can do if there's a shadow die. So I like that, having that option for sure. And there you can just see just the winter word is used, and they've used the shadow as well in white. And then there's just a small little word stamped below it for the word wishes. And I like how you can combine different size dies and stamps together to create interesting titles. So keep that in mind when you're creating. And then we have love the greetings that, oh yeah, I definitely love the shadow. It's a great option. This is the Decorative Squares stencil with masks. Now, if you look closely at this stencil, it has 4 squares, but they're all different. The top 2 have the scallop with the bump going out, and one is tiny, and the other one is just a little bit bigger. And then below, the ones on the bottom have the bumps going in. Okay, so one of them is kind of a pinked, like a zigzag, and the other one is a scallop. But then you also get the pieces that pop out, and you can use those as masking pieces. So if you want to stencil something, you can put that down and it will stencil everything except where that square is, or you can use the other part and stencil within the square to get that scalloped look. So here is a card sample where they have stenciled on the background of the card, but used it as a focal point for the penguin mug. So the penguin mugs are sold out. We don't have those anymore. So I don't have any slides. They will appear in the slides, but I don't have specific slides for that. We have a layered penguin stencil. Pretty Pink Posh makes some really great layered stencils that create images. So there'll be several layers to the stencil, and you just go through and stencil them, and you end up with this really cute penguin background, which is very, very fun. If you're good at fussy cutting, you could cut out the little penguins. You might even have some dies or punches that you can punch them out and use them. But here you can see that they've used it as a background. And then we also have the snowflake background stencil. Now, this is an interesting stencil because when you stencil this, everywhere that you see the snowflakes, that is going to remain, I'll say, white. So if you've got this stencil on a white piece of paper, you're actually going to be stenciling all the open areas, which are gray. I'm just going to show you an actual sample so you can see. So this was stenciled with black ink. So the black is what you're filling in, and where the stencil is, that is masking off the area for the snowflake. So I'll just back up so you can see that again. So the snowflakes in this case are a mask, and you would be stenciling on your ink, and whatever ink you're using is going to become the background of your finished piece. Does that make sense? Thumbs up or something if you understand that. So it's a really cool concept. I like that. So there is that one done in black and white. And then here's one done where they had, I'll guess, a purple piece of paper. And I think in this particular case, they've used some sort of spray on the stencil. And you can see that the snowflakes stay the background color, and then the spray goes everywhere else. So it's different. So if you don't have something like this in your stash, then it's kind of a cool one. And Judith, you are 100% right. They are very good. This type of stencil is very good to use with the pouncers, because you can just pounce that ink on and get good coverage right away. So next up, we have the Twinkle stencil, and I really like this one. So this one can be layered with other stencils to add that twinkle to it. So you might do the snowflakes, but then you can lay this over top and maybe put paste through it, and you can get the twinkles. Or if you're doing a night sky, you can ink blend your background, and then you can go on with the twinkles, and they could be like stars or whatever. So I quite like this one as sort of an add-on stencil, as well as one that you can use on its own. So Lee says you can never have too many snowflakes. I'm with you. That and snowmen. I love all that. Yep, the snowflake stencil is a really cool one. And again, when you're just looking at it, in the package, it doesn't really look like anything too special. But when you really see how it's used, it's different than most snowflake stencils. So I quite like that one. And it does give a striking look for sure. Okay, so there is the twinkle background. Isn't that beautiful? Like, it just gives that little burst. It's not overpowering. It doesn't take over your background. I really think it would be very nice with glitter paste or a solid color shimmer paste or something like that. I think it would be really nice to use. And there it is on purple paper, but just a darker color ink over top. So a tone on tone look. And it really does look like you've just made your own pattern paper. And then they have a couple of basics. We used to carry these types of stencils from My Favorite Things. They have gone out of business and are no longer available to order from. So we're glad to see that someone else has kind of come up with a similar design. This is the watercolor oval mask. So you get the stencil and the mask. And then they have a rectangle as well. Now, Jacqueline is saying that the twinkle stencil with a glow paste would be really nice. Yes, there's tons and tons of options. It's good to see you guys are thinking about these things. So there you can see that watercolor background blended on. And that is the oval one. And then the rectangle one looks like this. And that gives you more of a rectangle background. But it is a really nice way to create a focal point on your background. Beautiful for ink blending scenes and so on. It was always really popular when My Favorite Things had it. We ordered it many, many, many times, but because we don't have that available anymore, it's nice that we have something. So if you don't have something like that in your stash, it's a good one too. All right, and then we have our Let It Snow stamp and die. So this is one that has been popping up on many of the samples. So you can stamp these words, and then they have the little supporting words, or you can stamp them and then die cut them out. So that gives you the option to be able to pop things up, which is quite nice. And there are dies for those little snowflakes as well, which is really cool. And then just to show you, there's that snow word. So in this case, they've stamped it and they've die cut it. And then the one line sentiment is cut out in a strip, and it just kind of coordinates with that snow title. And then this here is the Penguin Friends stamp and die. So all those little penguins that you've been seeing throughout all of the cards, this is where they have come from. So you've got, there's one wearing a scarf, one holding a snowflake, one with a scarf and a toque on it. There's a set of two, so a smaller one and a larger one with the earmuffs. And then you've got one holding a string of trees, and then you've got an itty bitty one as well, plus some snowflakes and some accessories. Okay, so Nancy's saying, I love those. I love the loose words to stamp. My favorite to do is the shadowing of the words. Oh yeah, it's very, very fun. There's just so many options, and I love the font that they use for their greetings as well. So it's kind of like a handwritten script, which is quite nice. Not too elegant, but not too cutesy either. It's just kind of right in the middle, and you know, the mix of sizes and everything is really good. So let's show some samples. Like, how adorable are these penguins? Now, penguins are very easy to color because the center of them pretty much stays white. And then the outside you can just do in black or a dark gray. Those, okay. And you can see that snow word is featured on there as well. Now, this is a pop-up card, but look at the little penguin peeking out in the back. I mean, seriously? Oh, I just love penguins. So they look really adorable when you color them all up. And then here's another card featuring the penguins as well. Like, they're just super adorable. And there is one more. So there's that snowflake stencil in the background there again. So the background was stamped in the teal and the snowflakes remained white. So that looks really cool too. And there's that snow again at the top, which is spectacular. So some really good options. Now we're almost done. We only have one more set to show. And it is the, what is it called? Winter tags. And this is a stamp and die combo. So if you like to make tags, would be really great for Christmas gifts as well. And tags can also go right on the front of cards. Just kind of like they did right here. So you can color all those tags in and use them as part of your design on your card. But then they also look really cute on packages too. So lots of fun things you can do with them. Okay, so that is the winter release for Pretty Pink Posh. And that is all I have to share today. We're keeping it kind of short. It's under 30 minutes, which is a record for me, really. My videos tend to go a little longer. I try really hard to keep things, under an hour even, but sometimes it's hard. There's a lot to show. But I hope the slideshow was okay. I didn't have the product here with me. Now, the one thing I did want to add here at the end of the video is something that I'm going to be doing. And I think I'm going to try and start it on Sunday evening. So I've always wanted to do a craft along video series. So it will be live, and you will have the opportunity to craft along with me. Now, I'm going to be sending out an email this weekend. My plan is to go live here on our YouTube channel at 7 p.m. on Sunday for about an hour to an hour and a half. And I will be crafting live. Now, sometimes when I go on, I will be actually just prepping for the project that I'm going to be working on. Sometimes I'll have things pre-prepared and you'll see me do more of the assembly. But the idea is that I want you to join with me and craft. So I've been wanting, like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. We will have the chat session going, so it's definitely going to be interactive. You don't have to be working on what I'm working on. You can work on whatever you want. You can be tidying your craft room. You can be stamping out sentiments. You can be working on a project of your own. The idea is to get us to our desks. I need more crafting time, and sometimes it's kind of boring to do it by yourself. So I thought that it might be fun, and they will be scheduled, and we will set up a playlist here on our YouTube channel where the videos will live. So if you want to go back and refer to something, like for instance, I already know what I'm going to be working with this Sunday night at 7. I'm going to be working with the Hero Arts, what's it called? Let me look. I can tell you. I have it right here in this bag. So I will actually have some samples that I can show you from Christina, because she played with it and has some samples. But this particular product is quite hot on the market right now, and I want to play along. Of course, mine doesn't have a. Okay, what's it called? It is called The Best Gift Ever. Okay, so here I'm going to pop this over. on my screen. This is, I don't have my lighting on. Maybe I should have done that. Sorry. This is just so this is the actual set. And this has a better press component and a glimmer component to it. So I know that I'm not going to have a lot of time this weekend to prepare ahead of time. So I'm going to be working on prepping a lot of my my pieces. So you're going to see me working with the better press. You're going to see me working with glimmer. It's a great opportunity. Even if you're not working with those things, you can ask questions. We can have conversations about your favorite TV shows, your favorite books, whatever you want to talk about, how your Christmas shopping is going. We can do all kinds of fun things. So my plan is to go live at 7. And like I said, I will be sending out an email and we will post it on our socials to remind you. So maybe you can make an appointment with yourself to be at your craft desk Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And you can work on whatever you want. So if there's like a little thing you've been wanting to work on or tidy up or organize or anything like that, then you can join in. And then, I mean, like I said, I may not get anything completely finished in the live, but I might stay at my desk afterwards and finish the project. And then the next time I go live for a craft along, I can show you my finished projects. I can post them and send them out in an email, etc. Would be good on Zoom. Yes. Otherwise, and I've talked about that, but yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole Zoom thing. You don't have to talk in the chat at all. I know there's several other like more famous influencers in the industry that do this type of thing quite often. And it is a pretty fun interactive thing. Some people just come for the chat. They don't really craft or create anything. They just love the company and they want to watch what I'm doing. And if they have any questions about it, they can do that. Yeah. And I mean, like, if you've got a keyboard close by, just a quick question, and then that generates a whole discussion. So it's kind of fun. But yes, hopefully you guys can set aside some time on Sunday evening and we'll make that our first one. And hopefully it will be something that we can do more frequently, especially through the winter months. I don't plan on doing it through the summer, but through the winter months, it's kind of fun to do. So that is that. So that's what's going to be coming up soon. So as always, ladies, if you don't mind taking a minute after the video is over to give this video a thumbs up, we would really appreciate that. And if you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to us. There's our email address there, and we are happy to answer any questions you might have about anything that you saw in the video or our business in general or whatever. So I'm just going to make sure nobody else asks any more questions. Okay, cool. So it looks like some of you are kind of interested. Hopefully you can set aside some time. I also thought this might be a good way to not really hold you accountable, but I'm holding myself accountable for sure. To just sort of say, okay, I've got, Sunday night at 7 o'clock to look forward to. I'm going to try to make it to my desk and, just kind of put that on your calendar, your weekend calendar. So yeah, hopefully we can see you then. Until then, have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.